Those are the under cabinet lights. Here's the under cabinet unit that I installed. As you can see, it does a nice job of lighting up the work surface. Well, I'm getting ready to install an under cabinet light. So the first thing I need to do is figure out which circuit that I'm going to be working on so I can disconnect that circuit from the power. I noticed that in the box right there, the electrical box in the wall, where the dishwasher switch is located, I noticed that that's right where I want to put the light. So I suspect that this circuit number 18, the dishwasher, is the one that I want to turn off. Now what I need to do, this one right here, you can see I've turned it off. And all right, so next what I need to do is test it with a night light to make sure that it actually is off, because I don't know for sure where all the wires in the wall run. And yeah, the wiring may be mislabeled, so it's an old house and you need to kind of check things. So I pulled it out of the wall already, so be careful not to touch anything. Plug it in, and I notice it didn't come on. Okay, so it's turned off. It is not mislabeled. All right, I'll put this night light. Okay, so here are some of the tools I need. I need a drill bit to drill into this section of the cabinet, and need a square. Make sure I'm drilling the right place. And I need a drill to drive the drill bit, and I need some special tools called snaking wires to snake up through the box, through the wall, and out here, so I can pull the wire down through the wall into the box that is going to feed the light fixture. You know, whenever I punch out one of these holes on the end to run the wire in. All right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to First thing I'm going to do is drill a pilot hole. Okay, so I drill a pilot hole with this small bit here, and what I'll do is I'll use that as a guide for this large bit here, because I need a hole the size of the large bit or to run the large wire through there. So we've got the hole drilled, as you can see, and in drilling I could tell that it's not solid behind here, so I should be able to snake my wires through the wall. After I drill the bigger hole with this larger bit. Alright, so next we're going to drill that hole. Okay. All right, let's continue. Okay, we can see that the hole goes through. All right. It's always a good idea to put tools where they belong. All right. Okay, so now we've got our hole drilled up there. So when you look in here, we see that there's a wire coming down into the box near the right side back of the box. Right back there. All right. So what we'll do is we're going to take this wire here and we're going to run it up through that hole that the wire comes in, right there. this wire right here seems to be in my way. So we're gonna pull that out of the way. Even though we'll probably have to push it right back where it was after we get done snaking the wire through the wall. Here we go. So now it's out of the way. Okay, so we got a pretty good sized hole to run that wire up through. Run into something up there in the way. And this is an electrician's nightmare. There we go. Looks like we got past it. All right. Very good. All right, so now we have a wire sticking up through the wall. We need to light up the hole so we can see where the wire is. There we go. There's a wire right there. So what we do is we take this wire, run it in there, see if we can't snag the other wire. Takes a little bit of coordination, which I'm kind of short on, but okay. So I stuck this red wire in there, and I had a loop on the white wire. And I stuck the little hook on the red wire into the hoop on the white wire, and I pulled it right out of the wall. And there's the other end down there. So now what we can do is we can pull this wire through. So I'll get it ready and we'll do that. Okay, so I've stripped the wires, the insulation off the wire, the outer sheath, and I've cut off the paper insulators. And all I have left is the black wire, the white wire, and the bare ground wire. And the black wire is for what electricians term to as hot, which is just one lead of the 120 volts AC. The white wire is the other side of the 120 volts AC, but back at the breaker box, the white wire is connected to the bare wire, which is ground. So that means that the white wire will be referenced to ground, and the black wire will be 120 volts AC, reference to the other two wires. All right, so next thing we'll do is we'll wrap these three wires onto that white wire there, right there, through that loop there, and then pinch it so it's pretty compact, so it'll go through the hole in the back of that box back there where the other wire comes through, and then we'll wire everything up. Okay, so we pulled it through, which meant using these good electrician pliers to get a good grip on it, grabbing a hold of that part, first this part to pull this through, and grabbing this part to pull this through. And you can see I've gotten it through. The other end sticking out with the rest of the coil of wire. So the hard part is over. Now it's just turning the crank to fasten up this end of the wire to the fixture and fasten up this end of the wire to this outlet right here, to the hot and common and the ground. So I'll make some progress there and we'll get some more footage on it. Okay, so what we see here is I put the ground wires, both of them, on this one screw here, and I'm getting ready to tighten it down. I want it plenty tight to create an airtight connection so that the oxidation won't interfere with the electrical connection. And we want to get these two grounds close together so we can insulate them. Because we don't want the ground to touch this wire or this wire, because those are 120 volt. We don't care if it touches this wire because that's reference to ground. Alright, so do it one more turn just to make sure. Oh yeah, that's good. Alright, so we got some tape here. So we're gonna get these two wires right close together. And we're gonna tape them up so that if we push them back into the box and it accidentally gets too close to one of these other bare wires, it won't do anything because it'll be insulated. Alright, so, oh my, didn't want to cooperate. Alright, so we go around and around and around we go. Where we end up, nobody knows. All right. That wrestling with wires will wear you out. Being an electrician's hard work. Okay, so this black wire here needs to go on this screw right here. So, alright, so we'll take these pliers and we'll form them like that. Then we'll hook it over the screw like that. And then I'll take these pliers and pinch it together like that. And then we tighten the screw down. Like that. Alright, nice airtight seal. Connection, I mean. Alright, so we got two white wires left. And we've got two places to put them, right here and here. Alright. Okay, so next, up we're going to strip the wires. Okay, so we've got the two wires wrapped around the two screws. We're going to tighten them down. Tight, so there's a smearing of copper to get that airtight seal. Okay. All right, so we're essentially done with the electrical connections. Now we need to push it back up into the wall so that we can put the cover on. Okay, so we can push those back down in there. You probably don't want to have those wires sticking out the side like that. So we're going to bend them over a little bit. There we go. Very good. There we go. All right. Did a good job. All right, so we need this screw to go in this bottom thread. And we need this screw going to the top. There we go. All right, so can see, this bottom here is sticking out a little bit. A little more than on this side than on that. So we need to kind of push, generally push it so it evens out. All right. This is good. It doesn't look too bad. Something's not quite right there. That's not wanting to go in. There we go. This wasn't quite snapped into place. Okay. All right. So, that looks presentable. All right, except for the mess I made here. I need to clean up. Okay, so we got the light fixture, and it fits up like this, So that means the wire has to go into this end of the fixture. So we knock out this particular knockout. Okay. And then we get this thing out and put it in the where the knockout was. Right there. this thing here, this thing, and these here are 2 screws. Oh, crap. Where did it go? There. Okay, so putting these 2 screws in here. Okay, so I guess we need to put this in here first. Alright, so we need this pair of pliers to grasp the nut and return the threaded fitting so it's like this, so we get to it. That's about right. There you go. That's pretty. Well, that's not the Rock of Gibraltar, but doesn't need to be either. There we go. Tight enough. Okay, so there we go. Finger tight. That's all it needs to be. Okay, so all right, so we need here's the rest of the fixture, or part of it. So we need to come up here, and we need to go through this fitting, and then we need to go in, say, 6 inches, no more than 6 inches. All right, so we can trim it off here. There we go. All right, so we need to trim it off. About like that. Careful you don't cut your fingers. It's pretty easy to do. I've done it many times. Here we go. So, next, mark the holes and drill them for the screws that hold the fixture up there. All right. It's going to take a while. Okay, so you need to get up here with a pencil, and you need to take the fixture, you need to position it about a 1/4 inch back from where you want it to end up at. That looks about right. And draw the outline of the hole. Okay, that's pretty straight. Okay, so next we drill holes, and we have to cut off the screw length. Alright, so sometimes it's hard to get off the counter. Whew. We have to cut these screws off about 3/16 of an inch. And then all we have to do is screw it in. Put on the cover, or first make the connections, and put on the cover. Duck soup. Okay, so the cabinet bottoms, the wood, is only about this thick, and yet the screws are longer than the thickness of the wood, so I have to cut it off with a hacksaw. So I use a vice grip and just saw it off. Works pretty good. Okay, so I've used the hacksaw to cut a notch in the screw. And now all I have to do is take these pliers and just bend it back and forth a few times, and it'll break off right at the cut. Voila! We have screws made to length. All right. Here are the two ends. So you just don't want to cut them off too short because it's hard to put it back on. All right, so now we need to cut a hole to drive the screw into. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to drill a hole here. Okay. Should be able to run the screws up into there. Ooh, I'll lose that. Okay, just put it in just a little ways so we can slip the sheet metal over it. Perfect. And then slip the sheet metal over it. Perfect. Then we tighten it in place. Not too tight. Remember, we're going into wood, not into metal. Just snug. Not going anywhere. Good job. Okay. Let's see. Next, we're going to pull and trim off these wires, and then we're going to pull it through there, and then we're going to connect it up. Okay, so I've made the electrical connections to ground, common, and hot from the fixture. It's an LED fixture with a switch, and it's all set to close up and screw on, and then we're all done. So let's see if we can get it in there without driving ourselves crazy. Sometimes it's easier than others. Sometimes it's harder. I have to stuff the wires in there. So they're all out of the way, so I can snap this sucker together. That sounds good. Sounds like it's snapped in place. Alright, so let's see if we can't get this job finished. Get this, so we've got this snapped in place, but we didn't get this one yet. And this one here. Now that one's in there. gotta be careful because this right here is a light element, an LED. So I have to push it back without damaging the light. Let's see if we can do that. Sometimes you need to use a tool. Ooh, that could have damaged the light. Don't do that. Yeah, that's not good either. It's supposed to push so hard that it comes out of the... So this is a lesson in what not to do. Don't do what I just did. Okay, so we got to unsnap the outer piece. And then we have to put it back in place. Life is messy. Okay, so we take that off. Now we have to put this back up. Here we go. There, it's slide back on. I guess I need to tighten it a little bit more so it won't come off so easily. Don't want to over tighten it because it's wood. Okay. Hopefully that's the right amount of torque. Okay, so we push it back in there. Now back up in place. And 1, 2, 3. Bingo. All right, now we need to put this screw in there, and then this screw. All right, let me get those. Okay, so okay, screw number 1. And screw number 2. There we go. And last but not least, you put this light diffuser up. Gotta go just one particular way. It won't go any other way. So you probably have to get up on the counter like I'm getting ready to do. Oh, boy. All right, so we slide this part, single piece, into the slot here, and then you push, kind of bend the plastic into place, and I don't break it. Sure. Okay, so here it went on this end, and just slide your finger on over. Okay. If it's too long, then you're going to have problems, because it won't snap into place. There we go. All right. All done. Not quite. There we go. All right. Now all we have to do is turn on the breaker and test it. Yep. Here we go. All right, we didn't quite get that plate centered. It's okay. I'll just tighten it down. All right. All right, so let's turn on the breaker and see what happens. All right, there it is, 16. It stayed on, so that's a good sign. Here comes the acid test. Voila! And you have light. That is how you do it. Is the finished fixture. And it only took a couple hours, so not too bad. All right, well, that's all there is in this. We're all done.